This is the Atlanta Attachment, Model 1344 WV4, panel binder workstation, and it features the Vitron Classic Series 4000 sewing head for assembling seams for use in bedding, automotive, and furniture production. This sewing head is a proven machine with robust quality, easy ergonomics, and a clear control interface structured for operators and service technicians. It is a single needle lock stitch, Type 301 stitch, heavy-duty walking feet machine. The binder is attached to a mechanical swing bracket that moves the binder inward to the home position or outward to provide additional room for closing or cutting the binding at the end of a seam. The machine can tape up to 35 queen panels per hour. We have incorporated a tension box to help control the tape's tension, allowing the stretch of the binding tape to be equaled out with the bound product. Simply stated, it helps the tape and material to lay flat, with minimum ripples, and visually more appealing to the quality of your products. Operations such as border closing can be set up with automatic preset bar tacks for added security and prevention of unraveling. With one push of a button, the operator can vary the stitch length to accommodate changes in seam thickness in mid-sewing applications. This helps maintain stitch quality and minimizes the possibility of broken needles from needle deflection. All of these features allow the end user to easily exceed the industry's basic standards and economically provide a better product with a higher stitch quality and longevity. Now, let's talk in detail about the special features of this unique workstation. The first item is the switch bar, which is used to quickly recall preset functions. The machine will require compressed air at 60 psi and 1 SCFM for most of the automatic functions. The left button activates the top feed stroke. The operator can choose a low stroke, generally used for lighter materials, or higher stroke, generally recommended for thicker materials. These two feed strokes can be easily adjusted using the two dials on the top of the head. The maximum top feed stroke is 9 mm. This function is very convenient when the operator has to sew from light to thick material in the same seam. The next button is for the bar tack function. After pressing, it disables the use of any preset bar tack. This feature is recommended when the operation requires seam repairs or after a thread breaks. The next button is the half stitch function. After pressing, the needle steps a half stitch and stops. This function is particularly useful for a precise stop at corners or in label applications. The center button is for alternating between two preset stitch lengths, which can be pre-adjusted with the two dials on the right side of the machine. When the green light is on, the lower dial controls the length of the stitch. When the green light is off, the upper dial is the one that defines the stitch length. This function is handy when the operator finishes taping and proceeds to border closing or needs a different stitch length for other operations, like label attaching. The maximum stitch length is 12 mm. The next button is for alternating between two preset thread tensions. When the green light is off, the upper tension is open, and the lower disc is the one that controls the tension of the needle thread. When the light is on, the upper tension closes, utilizing both tensions to increase and control the tension of the needle thread. This becomes useful when running or crossing two different material thicknesses or taping and closing border operations one after the other. The next button is for activating an optional center guide, which is used when the machine is set up with two needles instead of one, as shown in this configuration. The last button of the quick access panel is the threading function. This is an important safety function before threading the machine or changing the bobbin. After activation, the sewing pedal becomes disabled, a threading icon shows on the touch panel, and both needles' thread tensions open, making it easy to pull the thread. The next special feature we will explain in detail is the integrated touch panel. The first step will be unlocking the panel by pushing the lock button. This will allow the user to change several settings. First, the bar tacking. By touching both icons on the screen, a single, double, or triple bar tack with a specific individual stitch count can easily be set up. These settings can be modified on the first bar tack and the second bar tack. The most common application is binding operations. After loading the tape and the material, the operator starts the seam without bar tack, sews until they reach the beginning of the tape. Then he swings out the binder, cuts the tape, folds it, and finishes the seam with a bar tack to secure the end of the tape. The binder in this configuration is set up as a raw edge binder. Clean finish or other variables of edges are available upon request. The next function is the seam programming. A seam can be pre-programmed with up to 24 segments, each of these segments with a maximum of 99 stitches. This function is useful when sewing labels or special patterns, like squares, where the number of stitches on each side needs to be equals. Clearance under the machine arm is 355 mm by 130 mm. The thread trimming function can be enabled or disabled at the touchscreen panel too. The thread trimming is activated by pressing backward the sewing pedal. Presser feet lifting after thread trimming. When the function is selected, the machine will always raise the presser feet after the thread trimming and keep it in this positioning until the sewing pedal is pressed again. This facilitates the operator to remove the material after thread trimming. Bobbin counter. This function allows the operator to see how much thread is still available on the bobbin. The 4010 class uses a bobbin with a diameter is 32 mm for an extra higher bobbin thread capacity. The operator can see if enough bobbin thread is still available to start a new seam, without running out of thread before finishing the operation. Acceleration. This function allows the operator to set up the incline or ramp speeds required to efficiently complete a task or seam within the best control possible. Simply stated, the speed of sewing can be set to quickly change from 0 to maximum, or slowly, depending on the ease or difficulty of handling the product to sew the seam. The next function is the sewing speed. The maximal sewing speed can be preset. The machine is equipped with an incorporated powerful 220-volt single-phase direct drive motor. The Class 4010 maximum speed is 3,400 stitches per minute. The next function is the needle stop position. The operator can preset the stop of the sewing needle to needle up or needle down in the middle of the seam. This function helps the operator to get better control of the material in the sewing process. The next function is the feet position when the operator stops sewing. It can be set to stop with feet up or feet down at the touchscreen panel. It is used to stop and turn in the corners or inserting another component into the seam. Maximum clearance under the presser feet is 20 mm. Now, let's review some of the other standard features of this unit. There is a mechanical reverse feed lever that can be used as a manual bar tack, or when pressed halfway, the operator can reduce the length of the stitch to match the corners of labels. The machine is equipped with an electrical push button for reverse sewing when is required. And it has an integrated and dimmable LED sewing light that can turn on or off with an easy access switch close to the sewing area. It can also be equipped with several other accessories like hemming folders, edge guides, binding folders with or without cord or piping, and zipper setups. Ergonomic aids like electrically height adjustable stands, air flotation tables, and ergo pedals are available too. We at Atlanta Attachment can offer several versions for panel binding operations. Please visit us at www.atlatt.com or call your sales representative for more information.